Big chance from this afternoon. Well, good afternoon.
Trying to get the better of Mark Selby over a long distance match. Most people come out second best. But we'll see, he's up to
the 11 duration, which is the minimum we have here in Telford.
Yeah, I think for because not that Selby's negative in any way, he's not. He's one of the game's best scorers. He can beat you anyway, but if it does go that way, there is.
See Joe. 1.
Oh, good red.
Eight.
Yeah, these top players, when they got Mark Selby's still got so much to give. He's still a threat at every single tournament he turns up at. As proved this year's got their points early, so they're not actually in great form
60
right at this minute. Whereas Mark Selby is one of those, isn't he? He's one recent
opponent today. Actually falls into the category of those who got their points on the board early in the campaign. Runner-up in Wuhan, in Saudi Arabia. He got to the semis there. But in recent months, hasn't really
24.
been much to grab the attention. He felt that may very well count against C and make it very difficult for him to claim this
32.
scalp. I know you feel the same way, Joe.
Yeah, and that's the trouble. You don't want to get involved with Selby because he's probably the best tactical player we've got. But if you are reckless and you miss it, you almost have to play near on perfect snooker if Selby's on top
40.
of his game. If Selby's playing well and not. But the thing is, he will get chance.
This time of year,
48.
inevitably, we're well against him.
Yeah, I've enjoyed playing Selby over the years. You know, again, I'm like older than, so it was a good day for me. But rest assured, he's given me a few hidings over the years as well.
As I was saying, it is a feature of Selby getting his rhythm going very early today.
$58.
For the red by the blue. Right, got plenty of action on it, didn't he? Played to just nudge the pink there.
$66.
Over the line and almost certainly more to follow. This is what the greats set out to do, make a statement by winning the first frame in a single visit.
$74.
Yeah, it's been a lovely break, hasn't it? Yeah, absolute control over that cue ball. The very first shot. It took him nicely, no dramas, very measured.
$82.
In recent years, of course, we've started to see some of the quite a few more get there in the next few years. Selby closing in on 900. He needs 22 more to get there.
$90. 98.
Selby's 58th last season.
103.
Yeah, what a wonderful break this has been.
106. 110.
For his £10,000 highest break prize.
121.
Stay there till the end of the week, though. But Jiahui had a couple of
128
chances
in
early
the
on,
first
couldn't
frame.
really get him properly, though.
Not
Selby
Selby.
just needed one, and he cleared up with 128.
Yeah, like a thing. So Jiahui's going to have to get that part of his game in order today.
Yeah, and even apart from the played a good deal better, though, in the quarter-final against Stuart Bingham. Just ended up losing out from 4-2 up. Bingham won the last three.
1.
Yeah, nicely done. So
7.
Yeah, see, it was a best of 7, and he actually had 5 breaks over 50. To just the 1 for the Iranian.
15.
hop that and move the other one out the way. Well, he's gone the other way, and that's not. And he played that
20.
well. That wasn't easy.
Does you the world of good when you come through it.
Jiahui 20.
Not so much when you then follow it up.
One.
Well, he could. Where's the cue ball going? Oh, that's unfortunate.
And so, he gets to immediately resume his work, and what a nice chance this has developed into.
Just up to see now, just to pick up the pieces. New fields. It goes without saying if you.
8.
As I was saying, has took him all the way. It's the same again in the English Open earlier this season. Selby 3-1 up, but had to go to the last frame and for the rest of the match.
14.
Well, it's not ideal. Well, that
Jiahui
surprised
90.
me.
It's hard to see any other outcome than a Selby win. We've seen over the years. Hasn't been.
Yeah, that was the one. It was a Nice shot. It was a nice shot to be able to take on as well.
All the way through that match, so seems there is something in that. Looks better.
Again, refused the pot. He's refused the pot and messed up the safety, so he's playing the player at the moment.
1.
Today you do get the better of him, even once.
Yeah, I think it's only natural, isn't it? You know, and obviously you can't really get through to the potting angle. Decided he couldn't, so away for the blue.
7.
He's still got plenty of points to play with.
In the semi, had he got through, it would have been Selby facing him in the final.
13. Mark Selby, 18.
Again, chose the more safety.
One.
So Selby straight back in.
Doesn't have to attempt to play position on the red to pot it. It's an absolute guaranteed snooker if he wishes.
And that was one of those classic situations.
Green spot. He'll have a nice poke at the yellow. How's the pace? It's just struggling, I think, for pace. Yeah, the line was good.
Mark Selby, 21.
Pot luck.
Foul and a miss.
In the end,
Mark
he didn't
Selby,
do
4.
either.
Oh, that's okay. It's better to hit.
Yeah, you don't often feel that the second frame in a best of 11 on his own game. Still trying to settle in properly. Hasn't made a break of more than 20 yet.
Ball safe. Yeah, that's what he was worried about.
Foul.
That's exactly what he was worried
Jiahui
about. He
4.
went and had a little look.
Foul and a miss. Foul and a miss. Jiahui 4. Foul. Jiahui 4.
Yeah, didn't even get close.
Being a few nasty little snookers. Yeah, and he's failed to negotiate out of them. So
Jiahui 4.
this.
Yeah, and even allowing for the fact that it is Selby. How many frames? He needs more now. Well, it was very important for Jiahui to win that frame, particularly. Just over 33.5 minutes. That second frame was the longest of the tournament so far.
One.
Lovely line.
Mark Selby 1.
Well played. Oh, that's unlucky. Just need a little glance off that red. Just.
Mark Selby 1.
Opposite. Of course, all of that was on foot of having gone public about some mental health issues a couple of years earlier, and that was why he was indicating.
Oh, the cue was landed where it has.
Mark Selby 1. Foul and a miss. Mark Selby 7.
It's truly extraordinary.
Seems in a negative frame of mind. It's not his game. It's not his game at all. And, you know, the pot was equally as difficult as the safety.
Is advisable at all. But can it be a subconscious thing, Joe, that it may not be that he's come out and thought, right, this is how...
Take too many on, but just from where we're sitting, you know, he's probably not going to win if he just plays ultra careful. You know, if you're waiting for your
12.
He does still have something to play for in terms of the Tour Championship, and it's significant because if he can get into the top 4 on that list, need to reach the final to have a chance.
90.
Of course.
Yeah.
$26.
The 4 reds in the middle of the table, the remaining reds. Or any kind of cannon you feel will.
$33.
Yeah, that looks okay. So just pot the key to winning this frame. Oh, he called it a bit fuller than in.
40.
Yes. Even where he is now, he doesn't need much more to get over the line in this frame, Selby.
$48.
58 in front, so.
Yeah, nicely done. And that was frame ball, so.
56.
Already had some good snooving to his home city of Leicester. the next 3 years.
$62.
Of the match from here, but it's doable.
$69.
And as I was saying earlier, Selby so no century this time, but a 3/4 century for Mark Selby. Feels important, Joe.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like the scores, it's only 2.
The signs are not good against an opponent of this quality.
1.
Selby in it. It feels as though, since he made those comments, said it was great for confidence, but that confidence would be no use to him going forward if he didn't make sure to stay in a good place mentally. So it feels as though he's...
$13.
From my point of view, Joe, I would always say there are half a dozen agree. There's a group of 3 within that. Hendry, O'Sullivan and Higgins, who are in another level above.
Trump could quite easily break into that
90.
that bracket in a few years' time if he can notch up a couple more. And that before my time, you know, that what they'd done was incredible, but it was in a different era of snooker. I think the modern era, Hendry on.
Which is an amazing thing to be saying.
25.
Very much in his mould.
Perfect snooker player. If a computer built a snooker player, it would be something like Mark Selby, I think.
Start in life that he had in all sorts of ways. He often speaks appreciatively
31.
of the game. This as well, I guess. They all turned pro with a lot of expectation on them. Selby wasn't seen as someone who necessarily had that potential. So
39.
Big shot, this one. Yeah, and it's just called him out. That's often the problem.
Mark Selby, 39.
Blackwood hasn't really got into this match yet, even though he's got a frame on the board. But this is a golden opportunity.
it feels like a massive result, given the way it's played out. We saw one of those last night. Jiahui struggled early on, but still made another frame after that. And I think this match would be in that category as well.
9.
If C can take this fourth frame. He's one of those players still vying for his spot in the tour. C is one of those who occupies a top 12 spot at the moment.
Jiahui, 16.
But that is...
And it was phenomenal standard of play. Literally every time he come to the table, it seemed like he just cleared them all up. It was incredible performance. All the missed pots and poor safety shots. But just the way he's carrying himself around the table just doesn't look confident at all.
Yeah, that was
Strange little shot he had there. It just seemed like you could pot the black and get anywhere up the middle of the
Mark
table.
Selby, 8.
He was going to be on one of two reds, and he sort of landed in a spot where...
Hui and Wu Yiza. As for those who are trying to overtake them, Got Chris Wakeland, who needs a semi-final run. Yeah, as I said, it could have turned out a lot worse. It looked like he was going to leave an easy red.
One.
He's yet to take advantage, but again, this is a decent chance. These three reds shouldn't win.
4.
See, he also has rankings in mind into qualifiers, and also avoiding all the very biggest names in the first round. Currently 13th in the sequence of events now for C not to be seeded for the Crucible.
He played for the blue. Oh, how's the knuckle? How's the knuckle? Oh, it was a friendly one.
The interval at 2-all now.
26.
Behind, so yellow, green, brown, blue will mean there'll be 13 ahead, 13 available.
32.
Him away if he does lose it.
35.
A couple of unforced errors.
$39.
Being a right-hander shouldn't be a problem.
44.
So 13.
Mark Selby had breaks of 128 and 75 on the way to...
There's 4 frames in Mark Selby's favour, but the score says 2-2, and that's all that matters, really.
But if that sets the tone for the rest of the match...
Yeah, it's so annoying from a playing point of view as well, because like you say, you do it.
Crucible not only caught the blue, but actually cut it into the middle pocket from the break-off. Turned to the crowd and said, I've never done that before. Don't think...
Nine.
Rex Williams was actually in the news.
It's a bad shot, but for me, it's a bit unlucky.
Mark Selby 12.
Anywhere but there, and he's on 2 reds. In the other half of the table, so a lot of the safety is going to be concentrated on down here behind the black spot. Moment. And if the players will consider having a re-rack here. Well, now if we're going to just play tippy-tappy in the bunch, this could... But no, Mark, not interested. No eye contact. Yeah, so he decided that in the end and played it nicely. So now it's going to be one of them situations where eventually the balls will... Never a frame I enjoyed. I don't actually know many professionals that enjoy this kind of frame, because if you miss it, you're more than likely going to lose it. So ultimately comes down to one shot in the end.
What?
Yeah, that was the trouble. And that was one where he didn't really need to take it on. There was
7.
There was a straightforward shot available to him, and that is the way to play the remainder of this match. But just on what we've seen so far today, it did come as a bit of a
Philosophy for players.
13.
A couple of little tests early on. Selby has now got the situation. Well, you might expect so far. C's winning the close frames.
19.
Selby is taking the clean kills.
blue.
24. $29.
Oh, he's gone off 2 cushions. More difficult that.
Thank you.
Well, he disagreed.
Mark Selby, 32.
Not really question Mark Selby when it comes to shot selection. Very rarely gets it wrong, and he's been proved right instantly.
He's given up to the Leicester man today. They've been quite cheap.
1. $9.
Could be another clean frame, as it were, means that he's won.
$16.
Well, last night on this table, we saw a Chinese player get to the interval at 2. He didn't win another frame. Got a fairly dejected figure by the end. So he'll be looking to inflict tonight. He's off to a good start here. His frame is definitely going his way now.
$29.
Yeah, the score's only...
When you look at the total points,
36.
so he'll be getting close to... Really, although there's only going to be 1 in it, as you say, Joe, but to have been 5-0 up by now.
44.
Question it if the score was 4-1 or 5-0 on balance of play, but like we said, the most important C is very much still in this match.
You're above.
53. $57.
messed up the chances. Selby in general has picked
Selby,
up on them.
62.
And with that break of 62, he leads for the third time. Jiahui actually winning this, getting to 6 first.
Yeah, he's not giving off many positive vibes, is he, really? And what we've seen over the last few years with Jiahui, he's normally very attacking and you're sort of borderline reckless at times, but he's been the opposite today.
One. Five.
Higgins in the quarter-finals. Of course, the final against Stephen Maguire. Over 17 frames. Winner of the British Open back in September.
11. Mark Selby, 11.
Was always going to be tough, but no harm done.
Ranking tournaments really started to increase.
Well, that's more like it. Struck that one nicely.
Trump got the better of him then. Oh, but the struggle continues.
Jiahui, 1.
So
1.
Judged them nicely. Yes,
8.
and again, nicely played.
as I said, when he turned pro back in the late 90s, that suggests a lot of promise. Do you remember, Joe, when you first became aware of Selby and people started to talk about him as
13.
someone who could make it a long...
But he very quickly established himself. Oh, as we talk about him, he's just...
Mark Selby,
Going back to what we were saying, it was all about Murphy. If I remember rightly, he was the big hope, the one that was going to be destined to be world champion. Listening.
Six.
to put together that half century, which wasn't routine. So the game is in there.
$12.
And then disappear back into the pack for a while and struggle to build on it. And it was the case with him. He had a decent enough first season, but didn't help him that his second season take him a huge amount of time to start finding that consistency that often seems to elude the Chinese players. To make what a challenge that is for players coming from the other side of the world.
24.
Helps, of course, that so many other young Chinese.
So the break continues. It's amazing how many players these days can play with both hands
31.
to a high level.
Remember from that era, there may have been others, and it was seen as very unusual to be able to do that at all. Of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan has taken it to a whole other.
$37.
As the pace looks pretty good, it just pulled.
43.
Number 40 got into snooker. And that's been the way this match has gone so far. 3 times. Drives at frame ball. It looks as though it's going to be the 3rd time that he's immediately
49.
levelled.
$52.
And with the addition of the green.
$61. $67.
Well, he seems to have found something from somewhere. And as the
74
black
on the frame.
disappears into the middle pocket, it's a break of 70.
Well, that'll help. What a great pot that was.
Yeah, he's missed one or two on
Balls. It may have just given him that bit of confidence he was lacking. I think if he just has a little look at the
Selby.
scoreboard, that'll give him some confidence. Thank you.
Not always executing it.
Always favour. But as soon as we say that, he misses, and I think that's why he showed a bit of frustration there.
It needs to be.
One.
Tournament. There's been no real prolonged slump or anything approaching it at any time in the
No.
current campaign. I was saying earlier about all those deciders he's lost this season. Well, it's not.
70.
Be giving this visit extra care and attention. A few little rubs here and there have gone against him. Just made things more difficult than they
23.
otherwise could have been on another day.
A player who go to Sheffield feeling they have a chance to win the title. But you know, how he... Think back to 2016, he didn't even play the last 2 events
31.
before the World Championship. He retained the title. It was a then record equaling 5th ranking title of that season. So he's so good at finding the formula in Sheffield.
39.
Really did have such a golden spell there when you consider
Two or three more reds.
55.
That's why he's purposely left himself lower on this pink. Just bring some reds into play. Well, it's just brought the one out, which is good enough.
Just feels like
62.
we're watching the same sequence of events play out over and over again. Selby dominates a
Get the balls open. Get the frame one. Stop your opponent coming back to the table.
70.
Keep that momentum in your favour.
It's been a long time now since Jiahui potted the first ball of the match. Since
76.
realistic chance now. Selby making his second century of the afternoon. The ball cushion if he's to do that.
84. $92.
Oh, the century's just got a little bit more difficult. Break goes to 98, so he's going to need a colour following this red.
99.
And that looks unlikely now. Doesn't make three
Mark
figures
Selby,
this
90.
time. Second time today we've seen someone catch the blue. One each now.
So can
Shan tournament. Qualifier for that was played just before Christmas. He lost to Zach Surety and then didn't win a match at the World Grand Prix. Although, as we said earlier, he did play very well.
which means you leave your opponent with their hand on the table, and in this day and age, they normally knock them in.
Well, the man you beat in the final was out there playing last night and winning, Mark Williams. Yeah, back then it was Bay
Format wasn't long, best of 11 matches. It was played under the same format as the PTCs, best of sevens, but you still sort of had all the top.
Yeah, 9 attempted, 3 made.
Nine.
One of the most in modern game without having the very heavy scoring. I think what it comes down to is there are days where the tactical side barely comes into it because he gets his
12.
Yeah, I remember in the very early days, I think the first, for quite a while, because he was so prolific when he got in amongst the balls, he used to keep clearing the table.
Mark
yeah,
Selby,
absolutely
12.
exists, as I say, anywhere in all of sport.
Foul and a miss. One.
It was just a nothing shot. It was just a simple, straightforward.
Five.
I think we said it about Mark winning the title. So often he just gets through to the later stages, and when he gets there, he can be absolutely deadly. And that run was only ended then by the shootouts, which obviously you can't read much into, and then he won all of the next 3 ranking finals he was in as well. So he's still...
$27.
At the moment, just pushing on now. Lead already up. Thick lead. And he'll open up a 2-frame lead.
35.
Which is something that neither player has had at any stage. Yeah, but he's starting to look very solid now, isn't he? And that should set him up. Lead goes to 66. And this red is to get over the line. You consider it's a relatively close match.
49.
Jiahui is still potted. Only 1 ball. It hasn't really been that way. Overall, though, this is getting to the stage where pretty good afternoon's work.
57.
No, he didn't make his 2nd century of the match in the previous frame.
$65. $73.
So the century doesn't happen. And just a moment, the opportunity that was left by Jiahui.
Can't afford to make at this level. They get punished. A bit like that break-off could also be punished. So, but now it really is looking very comfortable for Mark Selby. He's looking very dominant out there.
Position with the chances to do it, but really couldn't ask much more of himself than he's done.
Just a moment, please.
After this one, but I expect Mark Selby to leave himself a nice angle on the next black. Bit straight, isn't it? So play on the loose red. Now he has to get an angle. Doesn't want his cue ball close to the cushion.
$20.
Really?
Yeah, that was beautifully played. You see sometimes a few more into play.
28.
So I was saying earlier, in terms of how things fell for him, did make 1 or 2 errors, but always likely to in a best of 11. And overall, I think he was very much looking for...
$35.
Normally very good at this kind of shot. Plenty of cue power. Oh, again, nicely played. Deserves to be on something.
$43.
Oh, well struck What a beautiful
49.
shot. Can't tell you how hard that is.
If he can keep playing like he has today,
55.
he will certainly be a live contender.
From the pink, leave the pink into the same pocket.
63.
Takes the lead to 69. 60.
A bit of inevitability all over it this break, didn't it? From when he potted the first
70.
red off Jiahui's break off. Looked a little bit in the balance early on when the frames were being shared, but he was always the dominant player in this match. And
yeah, he's going to end the afternoon having had half a dozen breaks of 62
77.
or higher. Threatened centuries in both of the last two frames. Had one in the opener. A really good chance to finish off with a
85.
ton here.
$91.
Well, it remains to be seen when you look at what the players behind him need to do to overtake him. You would have to say more likely than not he will be in Manchester.
$98.
But he'll go there series, despite being involved in both events so far. Selby does indeed.
107. $110. $114.
He certainly made an impressive dash for us. He was playing a lot of good stuff, but couldn't shake off his young Chinese opponent, despite his own 3-all. Jiahui has not potted a single ball. 128 to start, 132 total clearance to finish. Mark Selby with 3 in a row.